Alright, what's up, guys? New week at Motegi this week. Kind of cool track because we're going to be driving at night, so that just basically means we're going to have a nice grippy track. Not going to have to worry about those 105 degree track temps. I've already done about 15 laps warm up, more like 30 actually, but with the old Mosport setup, and it feels pretty good. I did my normal little tire pressure adjustment to get it. You can't see it right now, but actually, yeah, you can. Oh no, you can't. But trying to get it more around the. It's like after my last little 6 lap run, it was like 189 over here, 187, 187, 188. So it's kind of around that 187 mark. I've been liking. But what I'm going to do, because it's such a smooth track and we don't have a lot of bumps, I'm going to stiffen up the springs a little bit. Stiffen up the whole car. I'm going to stiffen up the roll bars. Right now I've made an adjustment to the springs. They're 100 pounds stiffer. They're 900 instead of 800. These are 1300 instead of 1200. And then I lowered the car back down so we could get the previous ride height. And I just want to stiffen up the overall car, because the reason we had such a soft suspension is because we're at tracks that have a lot of bumps. So that can cause a body roll, and when that body roll, if it's too much, it'll cause the contact patch of the inside tire to be a little bit smaller. So if you can keep that inside tire down by stiffening up the car, not letting it roll as much, then you can give yourself a little bit more grip. So right now, kind of just experimenting, seeing what will happen with a stiffer setup. So here we go. What's up, Nonza? Actually, I need to check what the temp is, because it's a different session than I was just warming up in. Because right now, unfortunately, I've been having some technical difficulties. Alright, so it's 67, which is 19 degrees Celsius. Never. They're too stubborn. When I was in my engineering classes, that's all I'd ever use, unless they forced us to use a standard system. Alright, so just gonna run some laps and see how it feels. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I like this track because it's not completely lit up, so like this part right here. There's some ambient light. It's a little bit lighter than it was at Spa, but it's actually dark. Kind of think you lose the fun of the night races when their tracks are completely lit up. And then one thing I remember from the Spa and doing a little practice last night here is it's actually easier to see when you're in a dark room or racing at night, because your eyes are more adjusted to the dark, low light levels. So right now I'm just trying to see how the car feels compared to previously. Obviously trying to see how much stiffer it feels. That's like making the car skittish. Right now it feels fine. But we are on our first lap. But yeah, I already think this is an improvement. Car just doesn't feel quite so sloshy. Oh, way too fast. Starting to finally get this corner down, but this has been a tricky corner. It feels a lot better with those stiffer springs, but it's just hard because it's a dark part of the track and it's kind of disorienting, and it's already a awkward double apex too. Just the weird arc you got to take, and you have to change like the radius of your arc as you go through the two different corners. So still learning a lot with that corner. That's definitely the hardest part of the track to learn. I definitely say by stiffening up the suspension, the car just feels more controllable, or the springs, it feels more controllable, more, what's the word I'm looking for? I can adjust my line smoother. Like if I'm already, the car's already set, I'm going to a corner, I can make small adjustments to it without it wanting to kick loose or anything like that. Or before I was a little bit more sensitive to those small adjustments and kind of, I mean, you could adjust, but you know, it wasn't like the car just moved over. It kind of gave you a little attitude. I do like the way this feels. What's up, Luke? How you doing, bud?
0.08.
A little bit better through there that time. Yeah, oh. I was reading your comment, Rob. It's responsive. It's more responsive, but that wasn't the word. I just... You have more control. You can drive the car more. You can put the car where you want more. You're not so dependent on having to go through the corner in a certain way to make it so the car doesn't, you know, do something you don't want to do. You can drive the car more. That's just what the stiffer springs. But yeah, definitely more responsive. And you stiffen everything up. Always makes the car more responsive. I guess a good analogy is like when you go from 1 potentiometer throttle where it only has so many data points, say 100, and then you go to one that has like 2,000 data points. You have more control now. You can modulate it a little bit more. I don't exactly know why. It's probably because the car just doesn't have quite that bathtub feel to it, because its springs are stiffer, so there's not quite as much give in it, not as much slosh.
53.24.
Yeah, let's see if we can start doing some consistent laps here. That felt pretty good through there. You really gotta wait till you get to those cones before you start your second turn in, and then for turn 4 you just want to get as late to apex as possible. Here I'm braking around the 100-meter board a little bit after. Late apex serves you well. That just means stubborn. Let's see if I can power slide out of there. Almost had it. But yeah, late apex will serve you well for that corner. Here you just want to carry good speed into it, and just hug this all the way around. Get on the gas when you start to get to the end of the curb. Air braking before the 50-meter board around like 60 meters. And up here, braking around like 75 to 60 meters. Kind of wrap around, get a late apex so you can get on the gas. Yeah, I'm running high speed. And here, braking around like 125. Up to 4th, and then here you got to be pretty conservative. You know, slow and fast out. It's the best results I have for that corner, because then that can set you up for a good pass going into turn 1. Then turn 1, braking a little after the 100-meter board, around 90. It's probably just a little too narrow of a line. Probably just slowed down a little bit too much on the first apex. Here, braking around 85 to 80 meters. Again, let it get out to these cones before we start turning back in. It's just like it's like, obviously it's 2 consecutive corners back to back, but you really have to, right now I'm having to break it down into 2 different sections, and it's like you just finish one corner and then you just start another one. It's a completely different arc to it. There, when I'm early on, I'm probably braking more around 50 meters. That was pretty deep braking there. That was like 55 to 60 meters. This car's just so fun to come out of corners. This is a fun track for this car. Even though it's kind of like the antithesis of the tracks I like, because it's all these 90-degree angles, nothing like you'd actually see on a mountain road, like tracks I usually like Brands Hatch and VIR, stuff like that. It's just a really well-built track. I mean, there's just so many passing opportunities. You can pass into turn 1, you can pass into turn 3, you can pass into turn 5. This track has more passing opportunities than any other track we go to. Having fun. Alright, I'm gonna try and focus again here. So that's just a tricky corner. But it's definitely a lot more manageable with these stiffer springs. Again, we're trying that later apex. Kind of carried a little bit too much speed through the middle, or turned in a little too late. Didn't really get the middle of that corner the best I could. Air braking right around 60 meters. I'm just really gradual on the brakes, and again, just think the later the apex you can get through turn 14, the better off you are. And I just don't think you want to dive it in there. But don't be surprised if people try and dive bomb you. Oops, accidentally went down to second gear. That was pretty deep braking. That was like around 75 meters, but then I didn't finish my braking. That's why I went off there. I let off the brake too early. All right, let's see what our tire pressures are like. I'm gonna go down 1 click on this left front. How many laps does that run? Alright, so we'll do another like 5 laps with that tire pressure adjustment. Let me read some comments here real quick. If it feels twitchy, Luke, just give it a little bit more front brake bias. Soften up the rear end a little bit. Maybe put a little bit softer springs in the rear. I haven't got the HPPs yet, but they should be coming soon. And trust me, you'll see them when I get them. Then hopefully I'll get my 80/20 rig not too long after that. What's up, Dino? How you doing, bud? Yeah, no, I agree with you, Rob. The rear end still has a lot of grip in it. I'm just right now. I'm just trying to get an overall stiffness for the car going. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to get that settled first, and then I'm gonna start working on the understeer oversteer aspect of the car. So right now I'm just trying to create a setup that feels stiff without being too stiff, and not really worrying too much on the general handling and things yet. So I'm also gonna, other things I'm gonna do for the stiffness is after this I'm gonna adjust the roll bars, and then after that I'm gonna adjust the bump stop gaps, and then I'll start tuning the actual handling of the car. So it's kind of doing two different things right now, or splitting it up into two different things. But yeah, listen to anytime Rob gives me any kind of advice. You guys can put that in your little data banks as something to do in those situations, because so far everything he's ever said is right. But you know, with everything, take everything with a grain of salt. So none of us are professionals. Although I bet we all wish we were. I'll stiffen up both of them because they're both pretty low. The front's only at a 1 roll bar and the rear's at a 2 roll bar, so we got a lot of overall stiffness to put back into the car after taking it out with such, being so much softer, having to be at most sport where it's bumpy and stuff like that. Oof. Just changing that tire pressure felt pretty good though. Of course, I did just sit in the pits for a little bit because maybe my tires got a little bit cooler than normal. Oh, that was way too fast. It's just starting to make me think maybe I need to lower the tire pressures a click all the way around if it feels this good right now. But we'll get there later. Usually my tire pressure adjustments are the last things, like my fine tuning tire pressure adjustments are the last things I'll adjust. I'm just trying to find that last little bit of overall grip. Right now I'm just gonna go quiet because I'm driving some terrible laps. Ooh. Yeah, fun little slide going through there. That is a real technical corner too. So there's two real technical spots on this track. Turn 4 and 5 and then turn 13 and 14. Yeah, it's a little too much speed through there. No, this is a Club Sport V2. The Porsche rim. That felt good through there. I tell you what. Yeah, so I'll be getting 820 rig, and then the next thing I'm already convincing myself I have to get is a sim vibe shaker set up. Because I've thoroughly convinced myself vibrating will just really help with immersion, and I know it will. You know, being able to feel like this right front tire's raw. I want it now. Well, I'm gonna try and hold off for like 6 months on that because I've been dropping a lot of coin lately. After I told myself I wasn't gonna buy anything else after the wheel. That lasted for like 6 months. Nah, dang, broke way too late again. Actually, that worked out pretty nice. That was around like 75 meters, so maybe if I back that up to like 90, 80. Be a little bit better braking point than I had before. But either I'm getting more used to going through 4 or 3 and 4, or the car's just getting better at handling it. I have a feeling it's probably a little bit of both. Finally starting to get some muscle memory down. It's cool because you get all these, you know, hard 90-degree right angles, and you get that little S section there that's like totally organic and whole different vibe than the rest of the track. I like this track. It's just, and this is a track like that. Just if I looked at it on paper, you know, just right angle turn, right angle turn, right angle turn. I'd hate it, but fun track to drive. It's got a really good rhythm to it, really good flow. That's pretty on edge there. Alright, I just read the sex shot comment. There went all my concentration. Thanks, bud. Well, no, I was just gonna make a race prep video last night because I had some time, but then my hardware was failing me, so I ended up just quitting. Not making it. Now I'm doing it now. Plus, you know, if I'm at night, I like to drive at night. I just kind of like that whole immersion thing. Alright, so we'll save this setup. Let's look at what the tires. Yeah, I like those tire pressures for now. I'll just leave that be. So we'll save this because we're starting to make some kind of progress. It's the weather though. 1919, partly cloudy at night. Caps lock. And then next, we'll adjust some roll bars. It's funny, we've been to 3 Mo tracks in a row. Monza, Mo Sport, Motegi. Bet you guys didn't realize that fun fact, did you? Roll about my channel and I'll talk about that stuff you just talked about. It's gross. Alright. Let's do some roll bars. So, what do we got here? We can go, ooh, wow, we got a lot. a lot. So let's go up to 4. And up here we'll go up to a 3. So we're trying to keep somewhat of the overall balance. But again, I'm just trying to stiffen up the car. And the whole main reason for doing this is, let me get a different camera position here. So looking at the front of the car, the whole reason for doing this is when we're going to a corner, so we're going in turn 1, the car rolls to its left. When it does, it kind of can pick up this tire and mess with the contact patch. So we want to keep this as flat as possible. So by creating a stiffer roll bar, you create less roll in the car. And it won't have a tendency to lean over, which will give that inside tire a greater contact patch. Where you can get into trouble with making it too stiff is if the inside tire hits a bump, it's now that whole wheel assembly is now more connected to the left wheel assembly, because the roll bar connects the 2 wheel assemblies together, the right and the left. And the softer it is, the more independent they act. The stiffer it is, the more dependent the more they act in unison, almost like a solid axle. So if you hit a bump on the inside, the front tire, the other side will want to lift up too. So that's where on bumpy tracks you want to soften it up so the 2 tires are more independent. But on a stiffer track, you don't need them to be quite as independent because it's not as bumpy. So then you can stiffen it up so it helps to level out the car a little bit more, which helps that inside tire get more grip. Don't talk about USB issues, Tisdale. We haven't had any lately. I see what you did there, Rob Ronnie. Official racing. I got my down to 1/3. What do you mean you got it down to 1/3? I do not understand the sentence, sir. Your front roll bar is a 1 and your rear is a 3 or something like that. And the car is going to feel more responsive now too, because the weight transfer is going to be happening at a quicker rate because there's less roll in the car. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was running just before I made that adjustment. I was 1 front, 2 rear, but like I was just talking about, I want to just experiment and see if running a stiffer setup actually gives us better grip because we have more of the tire in contact with the road, which is your ultimate goal when you're tuning. I mean, that's something I always have to remind myself. Like, ultimately, all you're trying to do when you're tuning a car is make all 4 tires have as much contact with the road as long as possible. That's ultimately all you're doing with all this stuff. .01. Yeah, all races will be at night. The thing I don't know is if the BES race is at night or not. I wish it was, because that'd be cool. Yep, this is an improvement. The car just feels more stable. Slightly more responsive. But definitely a much more stable platform. Not much more, but more stable. It's enough to notice a difference. Oh. Too fast. Loss of focus. You're driving the Beamer right now? Tisdale? Overdrove that corner and car handled it nicely. Car's still nice and stable, going 3 and 4. Yeah, there's more grip now than there was before, that's for sure. Because before that would have got kicked loose a little bit. So I was pretty aggressive on the throttle coming through turn 5. Not able to put together a whole lap just yet. Actually gonna get rid of the Delta because I think it's starting to distract me a little too much instead of being useful. I got a really good run out of that corner. Right on. I guess the thing that always bugged me about the BMW is just getting the power down coming out of low speed corners. It just loves to spin those rear tires. I don't know what the best car is. The rest's pretty competitive, but I haven't done enough driving to see what the best car is yet with other cars on track, or been really paying much attention this week. Yeah, it's getting a lot more drivable through turn 4. Or before you just had to get a line and you couldn't really adjust it, where now I can start to adjust the line a little bit more with more throttle than I could before. Alright, I'm gonna go quiet, try and get a couple good laps in here. Yeah, that was pretty doggone stable because I didn't really have a good line through there and I kind of forced it. Found out I just hit my TeamSpeak mic button to talk to you guys. That's another thing I'm finding a little bit more tricky about driving here at night is, you know, the line between the track and the grass is a little bit harder to see sometimes, just exactly where you are. So I'm still just every now and then catching just little bits of grass. You know, I'm getting into the corner trying to be as wide as possible, but not be on the grass. But because it's dark, it's kind of hard for me to find that optimal spot. So every now and then I hit the grass. But typically that's something that goes away over time. Once I get more muscle memory down at a track, I stop doing that. And eventually you really start to learn where the limits of the track are.
48.1.
This weather is 19 degrees ambient and on the track Celsius. Yeah, that was a really nice corner. Up a 10.5 on my best. That was a good corner too. Right then. Widest arc I've taken through there since I've been practicing. Too fast. But I'm up 0.3. Up 0.4. That's something like to point out right now is I'm around 0.4 up on my best lap on the 5th flying lap with this car. Is like the smoother you drive it, the first couple laps, yeah, people are going to be faster than you because they're just overdriving the heck out of their cars and you're being smoother. But after like 5 laps, this car just gets more grip, more grip, more grip if you just keep driving it smooth. Like this car really does take a while to warm up, but once it warms up, it's, as long as you don't overdrive it, it gives you all the grip you need if you got the right setup. Alright, so I'm going to practice pit entry this lap because I haven't done that yet. Then I'll probably call it for a video, and then in the next video I will start working on the bump stop gap. And then after that I'll actually start working on the handling of the car. I really do like the balance it has right now. So long as I drive the car within its limits, it drives beautifully. But I'm sure once I start optimizing my laps a little bit more, I'll find some more room for improvement. As far as handling. It seems like turn 11's actually faster in 2nd gear. I've been going between the 2 gears, and I missed pit entry. I thought it was on the front stretch. Yeah, so I guess we'll do one more lap.
49.03.
This is another corner I think you can get away with going 2nd gear because it actually does help the car rotate more. I'm getting slightly better run out of this corner I did when I went through it on 3rd gear on my best lap. Then here's another corner you can go 3rd or 2nd. On my best lap I did 2nd. Here I'm doing 3rd. And 3rd gear seemed just a little bit faster, but I'm basically going the same exact speed right now. There is no real difference between speeds. Yeah. Be smooth with this car. All your inputs, your steering, your brake, your throttle, and then all of a sudden it'll just come alive after a couple laps. That's why I love driving this car in endurance races, because the longer you drive it, the better it gets. As long as you don't overdrive it. Hopefully that quality sticks around after the BOP changes. I just really don't think they're going to mess with this car that much for the BOP. Alright, the weather's 19 degrees Celsius on the ambient on the track. Let's see if we can find pit lane. No, it's up here. See, that's crazy. There's no... Dude, where is pit entry on this track? You think that'd be like one of the parts of the track that they'd light up. Alright, I found it. That's embarrassing. Oh, because it doesn't look like you're going in, it looks like you're going into tire. Man, that's a dangerous entry. Well, that'll be interesting. Well, yeah, balance of power, it's something they do to make all the cars equal. Like, right now the Ford has kind of an advantage. You know, it's kind of just like they do in the professional series. I don't know exactly what adjustments they make here, but it could be just putting more weight in a car if it's too fast, or taking weight out of a car it's too slow. Giving another car, you know, more air restriction to cut down its horsepower, or giving another car less air restriction to give it more horsepower. Yeah, that pit entry. They did a real good job on this track, except for that pit entry. Like, it could be a smoother operation. It's like they're trying to... kill cars. Let's just look at this real quick from a different angle. Actually, we can just not... I mean, they could put like a light on it. Because I mean, from here it just looks like you're going into a black wall. And that's, I mean, and it doesn't help that these cones don't go all the way to the apex of that corner. Like, I think if the cones went to this apex right here, then that'd help. But that's going to be hard, just figuring out. I'm going to have to do a lot of practice. So what I'll probably do, I'll probably come through the corner. Can you guys see my mouse? You guys can't see the mouse on screen, can you? And so I'll probably come in and then I'll use one of these cones as a, let's watch me try and find pit. Oh no, that's after I backed up. So I'll probably use one of these cones as a braking point for when we're going in for this corner, for the first right hand in this chicane up here. Yeah, that'll definitely take some extra practice there. Alright, so I guess we should look at tire pressures. Won't tell me too much because we did just come down pit lane. So, and we didn't do that big of a run, so right now we'll just save this for now. Yeah, and then we'll bring this bump stop gap down so we can have a little bit less travel in the suspension. I agree, Rob Ronnie. I think we can live with a lot less. I was reading this article, and like Formula One cars sometimes only use like a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of travel, which is just ridiculous. All right, see you later, Jesper. Good luck, man. See you later, Luke. All right, we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.